What? You don't have a father? His mother's disapproving expression deepened, and the tension in the room escalated. That's not good. What? Look, as I mentioned earlier, we come from a wealthy family. We're exceptionally affluent, and there's simply no place for individuals from modest backgrounds without a father. Their words were laced with disdain, and it seemed like they were trying to deceive us. His parents continued to berate me with derogatory comments, and even Aaron began to utter hurtful remarks. Oh no, I guess she's not suitable. My name is Sarah, and I'm a 25-year-old office worker. Today, I was filled with anxiety as I was about to meet my boyfriend's parents. Aaron, my boyfriend, was 4 years older than me at 29, and we worked at the same company. Our relationship had begun when he asked me out, and after a year and a half of dating, he proposed. Although marriage felt a bit premature for me, I considered my past experiences and decided that it might be wise to marry sooner and start a family. So I accepted his proposal. We're almost there. Aaron reassured me as we approached their house. Wait, I'm not quite prepared yet. This is just a preliminary meeting with my parents. I mean, that's the most nerve-wracking part. Well, I'm sure you'd be nervous too if you were visiting my mother's house. I responded, no, I wouldn't. Because you don't have a frightening father, right? Aaron chuckled. No, but my mom can be even scarier. I gasped, then realized he was joking. Seriously, I'm kidding. Phew, you really got me there. Now you understand why I'm feeling a bit nervous, don't you? I said with a smile as we arrived at his parents' impressive house. Wow, it's a magnificent house, isn't it? Aaron's parents' residence was situated on a sprawling piece of land, and the house itself exuded opulence. Your parents' home is truly remarkable. I can see why you take pride in it. People must be amazed when they see it for the first time. The front door swung open, and Aaron's parents warmly greeted us. Well, you've traveled quite a distance, haven't you? Please, come on in. Their friendly demeanor put me at ease. They even offered us some treats. Sorry, they're nothing special, just some Godiva chocolates. I absolutely love them. I expressed my appreciation as they also served tea. Wow, these teacups look really exquisite, I remarked, admiring the expensive-looking tableware. Aaron's mother smiled, acknowledging my observation. You have a keen eye. It's no wonder you're Aaron's fiancé. Each of these cups costs $2,000. I was taken aback by the price tag, and the subtle griping about their wealth didn't sit well with me. Initially, Aaron had mentioned that his parents' house was impressive, but he had always maintained a humble attitude, explaining, my grandfather's generation accumulated the wealth. We're just reaping the benefits. However, it appeared that his parents were keen on flaunting their affluence and adopting a somewhat condescending demeanor because of it. They lived in the house passed down by their grandfather and sustained their lifestyle through inherited investments. During the conversation, Aaron's parents asked about my job at the same company as Aaron. Yes, I do work there, I replied, but I was caught off guard when Aaron's father made an inappropriate comment. Wow, you managed to get into that prestigious company even though you're a woman? I couldn't believe my ears. Had he just said, even though I'm a woman? I thought to myself that if this statement made its way to Twitter, feminists nationwide would be up in arms. And you graduated from a prestigious university too, he continued. Sarah may have a plain face, but she's talented at her job and managing the household. I was astonished. Did you just say I have a plain face? Are you casually criticizing my appearance? I exclaimed. Aaron chimed in. Oh my God, Aaron, that's incredibly impolite. It's unfair to describe her as having a plain face in front of her, especially given her former career as a model. I understand, Sarah. I'm sorry about my parents, Aaron said apologetically. I reassured him, it's all right. I understand that his parents can be difficult, and that's just their personality. However, deep inside, I couldn't help but question my decision to marry him. If we did get married, I would inevitably have to interact with his parents more frequently. I wondered if I could endure their hurtful remarks each time. Before long, my patience was pushed to the limit when Aaron's father asked about my father's occupation. By the way, what does your father do, Sarah? I began to explain that my father had tragically passed away in an accident when I was young, and I had been raised by my maternal grandparents. I mentioned that my mother was still working today, and I admired her dedication, which motivated me to excel in my current job. However, before I could share more about my family, Aaron's father interrupted me, his expression turning stern. What? You don't have a father? His mother shared a disapproving look with him. Aaron's father continued, this is not good. As I mentioned, we're a wealthy family, and there's no place here for people from poor families, especially those without a father. You almost deceived us. His parents proceeded to insult me with a barrage of hurtful words, and even Aaron began making inappropriate comments. Oh dear, she's almost 30, and she thought taking the easy route was a good idea. She's good at housework, so I figured she'd make a fine housekeeper. But I suppose not having a father doesn't make up for it. Aaron's words stung, and I couldn't believe the direction this conversation was taking. Aren't you proposing to me because you love me? I asked, hurt and bewildered. Aaron responded callously, No, don't be ridiculous. I didn't choose you because you're a big spender. You do as you're told, so I thought you'd be a suitable partner. You should consider yourself lucky to marry into such a wealthy family. I was shocked and hurt by his words. Aaron's father chimed in, Indeed, you should be grateful for this opportunity. If you're not happy, Aaron can easily find another girl to replace you. Really? What if I decide to stay with Sarah anyway? Aaron's response surprised me. His father retorted, You're not getting any younger, Aaron. Even with your wealth, finding a suitable partner might become challenging if you wait too long. I couldn't believe the insensitivity of their conversation. I had reached my limit. I'd had enough of this, I declared, standing up abruptly and leaving their house. To my astonishment, Aaron didn't make any effort to chase after me. As I walked away, I couldn't help but question why I had wasted my time with someone so callous. And his parents, what kind of people were they? They had insulted my family without knowing anything about them. Feeling frustrated and hurt, I found myself heading to my parents' house. When I arrived, I recounted the entire ordeal to my mother and grandparents. My mother sympathized, saying, There are some unpleasant people out there, aren't there? My grandfather, who owned land in various locations, recognized the name and location of Aaron's parents' house as one of his properties. As more shocking revelations surfaced during our conversation, I decided to return to Aaron's childhood home. My mother, equally upset about the situation, accompanied me. We rang the doorbell at his parents' house, and Aaron's mother greeted us with surprise. Oh, you're back. What's going on? She asked. I replied, Well, you see, these people are quite obtuse, aren't they? My comments seemed to irk them, and Aaron's mother responded indignantly, Excuse me? How dare you insult us like that? I continued, You truly don't understand the situation you're in. Let me spell it out for you. Their father chimed in, threateningly, You don't realize it, but you're in serious trouble. Confused, I asked, What do you mean, leave this house? Aaron's father elaborated, We're asking you all to vacate this property. You heard me right. I couldn't believe the audacity of their statement. What's going on? Allow me to explain, I interjected. My father was a landlord who owned some land, and he leased that land to your father, the grandfather of Sarah's boyfriend. We recently discovered that the rent for the land is 3 years overdue. Their father seemed puzzled, asking, Land rent? What is that? I continued, It appears you might not be aware of it. Your father, who had been making payments for years, passed away approximately 3 years ago. Evidently, the matter of land rent was never relayed to you. However, my father had sent numerous reminders. Aaron's mother pondered, I never received any of those reminders, did I? I replied, It's possible. Maybe those envelopes that arrived every month were related to the land rent. She admitted, I don't know. I typically just discarded them. Their father asserted firmly, We can't allow overdue rent, so we kindly request that you vacate the premises immediately. Aaron's mother chimed in with frustration, You can't just ask us to leave like this. I added, That's right. It's quite unexpected to be asked to leave after all this time. Aaron's mother retorted, Well, this house is ours now as my in-laws have passed away. How dare you speak ill of my parents? I apologize. I'm sorry, it was uncalled for. Aaron's father then declared, Regardless, even if you pay the overdue rent, we still require you to leave. Their mother lamented, Oh no, my grandfather has stated he won't permit it any longer. He's already searching for a new tenant. Concerned, Aaron's father said, This is disastrous. If I can't secure this house, I'll be stuck with an ugly man I married. I interjected, Please, let's not argue further. Moreover, you ridiculed my mother earlier, but she's the president of the company. You shouldn't assume we're impoverished just because I don't have a father. Such thinking is quite narrow-minded, and you, a former model? That's rather conceited. As for Aaron's earlier comment about selecting me as a housekeeper, I intend to share this with my colleagues at work. It's essential to prevent potential victims in the future. I continued, Enough of this. Let's go, Mom. I felt a sense of relief, having expressed everything I needed to say to my mother. His parents had certainly picked the wrong person to quarrel with. Following that, the overdue land rent issue was resolved, and my grandfather successfully found the new tenant. As for Aaron's parents, they faced eviction from the house and embarked on a bitter divorce battle, continuing to dispute the division of property. Naturally, I ended my relationship with Aaron. After sharing the incident with my colleagues at work, Aaron began facing cold looks from his coworkers, and his standing with his boss deteriorated. Given his already mediocre performance, his reputation at work only worsened over time. Rumors circulated that he might be transferred to another department soon, and it appeared that he was struggling with the situation. Frankly, he deserved the consequences. On the other hand, I learned a valuable lesson about the importance of pursuing my passion and not rushing into marriage. I devoted all my energy to my work, aiming to gain extensive experience in a prestigious company, with the ultimate goal of taking over my mother's business. To realize my dreams, I remained dedicated to my daily tasks and focused on what I loved doing.